Excerpts from Senate Joint Resolution 19. To acknowledge the 100th anniversary of the January 17, 1893 overthrow of the Kingdom of Hawaii, and to offer an apology to Native Hawaiians on behalf of the United States for the overthrow of the Kingdom of Hawaii. Whereas prior to the arrival of the first Europeans in 1778, the Native Hawaiian people lived in a highly organized, self-sufficient, subsistent social system based on communal land tenure with a sophisticated language, culture, and religion. Whereas from 1826 until 1893, the United States recognized the independence of the Kingdom of Hawaii, extended full and complete diplomatic recognition to the Hawaiian government, and entered into treaties and conventions with the Hawaiian monarchs to govern commerce and navigation in 1826, 1842, 1849, 1875, and 1887. Whereas in pursuance of the conspiracy to overthrow the government of Hawaii, the United States minister and the naval representatives of the United States caused armed naval forces of the United States to invade the sovereign Hawaiian nation on January 16, 1893, and to position themselves near the Hawaiian government buildings and the Lalani Palace to intimidate Queen Liliuokalani and her government. Whereas on the afternoon of January 17, 1893, a committee of safety that represented the American and European sugar planters, descendants of missionaries, and financiers deposed the Hawaiian monarchy and proclaimed the establishment of a provisional government. Whereas the United States minister thereupon extended diplomatic recognition to the provisional government that was formed by the conspirators without the consent of the native Hawaiian people or the lawful government of Hawaii and in violation of treaties between the two nations and of international law. Whereas soon thereafter, when informed of the risk of bloodshed with resistance, Queen Liliuokalani issued the following statement yielding her authority to the United States government rather than to the provisional government. Whereas, without the active support and intervention by the United States diplomatic and military representatives, the insurrection against the government of Queen Liliuokalani would have failed for lack of popular support and insufficient arms. Whereas the report of a presidentially established investigation conducted by former Congressman James Blunt into the events surrounding the insurrection and overthrow of January 17, 1893, concluded that the United States diplomatic and military representatives had abused their authority and were responsible for the change in government. Whereas President Cleveland further concluded that a substantial wrong has thus been done which a due regard for our national character as well as the rights of the injured people requires we should endeavor to repair, and called for the restoration of the Hawaiian monarchy. Whereas the provisional government successfully lobbied the Committee on Foreign Relations of the Senate, hereafter referred to in this resolution as the Committee, to conduct a new investigation into the events surrounding the overthrow of the monarchy. Whereas, although the provisional government was able to obscure the role of the United States in the illegal overthrow of the Hawaiian monarchy, it was unable to rally the support from two-thirds of the Senate needed to ratify a treaty of annexation, whereas on July 4, 1894, the provisional government declared itself to be the Republic of Hawaii. Whereas on January 24, 1895, while imprisoned in Lalani Palace, Queen Liliuokalani was forced by representatives of the Republic of Hawaii to officially abdicate her throne. Whereas, through the Newlands Resolution, the self-declared Republic of Hawaii ceded sovereignty over the Hawaiian Islands to the United States. Whereas the Republic of Hawaii also ceded 1,800,000 acres of crown, government, and public lands of the Kingdom of Hawaii, without the consent of or compensation to the native Hawaiian people of Hawaii or their sovereign government. Whereas the Newlands Resolution also specified that treaties existing between Hawaii and foreign nations were to immediately cease and be replaced by United States treaties with such nations. Whereas the indigenous Hawaiian people never directly relinquished their claims to their inherent sovereignty as a people or over their national lands to the United States, either through their monarchy or through a plebiscite or referendum. Whereas on April 30, 1900, President McKinley signed the Organic Act that provided a government for the territory of Hawaii and defined the political structure and powers of the newly established territorial government and its relationship to the United States. Whereas on August 21, 1959, Hawaii became the 50th state of the United States. Whereas the health and well-being of the native Hawaiian people is intrinsically tied to their deep feelings and attachment to the land. Whereas it is proper and timely for the Congress on the occasion of the impending 100th anniversary of the event to acknowledge the historic significance of the illegal overthrow of the Kingdom of Hawaii, to express its deep regret to the native Hawaiian people, and to support the reconciliation efforts of the state of Hawaii and the United Church of Christ with native Hawaiians. Now therefore be it. Resolved by the Senate and House of Representatives of the United States of America and Congress assembled. Section 1. Acknowledgement and Apology. The Congress. 1. On the occasion of the 100th anniversary of the illegal overthrow of the Kingdom of Hawaii on January 17, 1893, acknowledges the historical significance of this event which resulted in the suppression of the inherent sovereignty of the native Hawaiian people. 3. Apologizes to native Hawaiians on behalf of the people of the United States for the overthrow of the Kingdom of Hawaii on January 17, 1893, with the participation of agents and citizens of the United States, and the deprivation of the rights of native Hawaiians to self-determination. 4. Expresses its commitment to acknowledge the ramifications of the overthrow of the Kingdom of Hawaii in order to provide a proper foundation for reconciliation between the United States and the native Hawaiian people. And 5. Urges the President of the United States to also acknowledge the ramifications of the overthrow of the Kingdom of Hawaii and to support reconciliation efforts between the United States and the native Hawaiian people. CC 3. Disclaimer. Nothing in this joint resolution is intended to serve as a settlement of any claims against the United States. Approved November 23, 1993.